So I know not many people may be interested in a cat, but I thought I would make this video because I had all this footage from when Rowan was really little when we first got him. So when we first got him, he was a stray. We'd have no idea where he came from, but he was pretty scared of us. He was hissing at us and did not want him to touch us. So once I set up the closet for him to live in, he was in the bin cage for just a night, and then in the morning I set up the closet. I took the lid off the bin cage and just let him get out on his own accord. He was still kind of in shock. He wasn't moving very much. He stared at us with this creepy stare all the time. He was so cute as well. I'm guessing he was around somewhere in the 7 to 9 week range. So this is the setup I had for him in the closet, and at first I put in stuff for him to hide, but I started taking away stuff pretty quickly. Right here, he's only coming out of the tunnel because I was using my iPod to play mama cat noises, which really attracted him out. And he was mewing, kind of looking for where the cat was, which might not have been the best idea, but it did get him out and kind of out of that shock that he was in. It kind of woke him up from that and made him walk around and explore. So for the most part, I just sat in the cage with my laptop. I watched stuff. For the first day or two, I just sat in there and didn't do anything. I just watched him, let him look at me, but he didn't come anywhere near me. At this point, he was super tired after a day or two, so he started to fall asleep, finally. He was probably awake so much. This is the setup we have for him. He's using the litter box like perfectly, so that's good. He has his box over there. He's kind of stuck back there right now because the pillow is blocking that side. He was climbing on top of the hay box and then he fell down by the vacuum. He's probably figuring out how he's gonna get out because he's kind of stuck. So when it came to Willow, you can see on the door I blocked off the bottom with boards so then they couldn't see each other. I let Willow in our room and I let her sniff around, but she didn't want anything to do with him, so she left. So here's Rowan. I was pretty close to him at this point and he was eating food. I'm really grateful that he ate right away and he was probably super hungry. He didn't play for at least a couple days. I think he just needed to get his strength and energy back. So I first started with petting him with a zip tie, and movements really scared him, so I tried to move really slow around him. Here you can see I have a glove because I didn't want him to bite me or anything. Wasn't quite sure. So I just slowly moved my glove towards him as he was eating. And then he was so unsure. But eventually I got to a point where I could touch him with the glove. And then I started really petting him with the glove still on. Then I decided to grab him and put it on my lap and try to kind of forcing him, but I fed him food, just trying to get him to like me and be more comfortable with people. I wouldn't do this for very long. I would just 5 minutes, then I would let him down and do what he wanted. You can see his little polydactyl toe there and it's so cute. So you can see here he's out in the open looking pretty comfortable, which was great progress. You can see I'm kind of by the food and he's trying to avoid me as he's walking around. So I set his food in front of me and let him eat from there. So here I am holding him again. He's looking at me like I'm an idiot and just snuggling him, trying to get him to like it and feel more comfortable with it. He's flexing his 6 toes. So at this point, I think it was about 3 days in or so, he actually started to try to play a little bit, which before this he never played with anything and he didn't quite know what he was doing, but he tried and it was super cute. So then he got a little bit more curious once he had his strength and he started exploring and finding little nooks to get in. You can see at this point he was fairly comfortable with letting me pet him, and all of a sudden one night I brought him out on my bed and he just was loving it. I realized there was just kind of nothing to be afraid of and just let himself relax, and it was so cute. He was still super skittish when it came to walking around him and going in his area and to pick him up and stuff. And I tried not to corner him as much as possible because it probably makes him really uncomfortable. But it was weird. Once I took him out and started petting him and stuff, he was super comfortable. And I would play with him just where I was, and he'd climb up on my shoulder and fall asleep as I was watching a movie.
They're so pretty.
And he loved zip ties. So at this point, he was pretty comfortable with me playing with him, picking him up, petting him, but he wasn't with anybody else. So at this point, you can see my little sister is here, and I'm trying to get him more comfortable with everybody else because there's quite a few people in my house, and I want him to like everybody. Here he is on my desk, exploring. Here he is exploring my room for the first time by himself, and here he is with Sarah. I was trying to get him to love everybody, so I started with the siblings who he saw the most. You can see here I'm just moving around while he's eating. I'm just trying to get him used to people walking around because that's what he was really scared of. And this was the first time I saw him sleeping out on the open, and he was all curled up and it was super cute. You can see though when I went in, this was the last time he hissed at me, but he would still kind of hiss at me at this point. But then you can see he kind of got up for me, and after this he never hissed at anybody again. Just look how cute he is. Oh my gosh. So from then on, I got him a cat tree because I spoil my pets. And he started playing more and being more active. He was finally starting to catch up on his eating, and he had a little belly. And from then on, I never needed gloves again, and I started to play with him more and pet him and take him out and just carry him around and try to interact with him as much as possible to get him really used to people while he was still young. So here he is exploring the bunnies. He was fascinated by the bunnies once he figured out they were there. So at this point, because him and Willow haven't seen each other yet, I locked him in my closet every night. So once he started getting comfortable and started getting used to routines, every morning he would start mewing. So every morning when I woke up, he would slowly start to greet me more, and every morning I'd wake up and I hear him like trying to climb up the cage. So because this was super annoying, by this time, him and Willow were getting along at least well enough where they weren't going to kill each other. So I took off the door, and that solved that problem, except that he would sleep on my face every night, which was kind of worse than waking me up every morning. And now he just wakes me up every morning because he's hungry, so I still get woken up every morning. So by now, he had been around the bunnies a little bit, but I really wanted him to be a lot better with the bunnies, and I didn't want Storm to absolutely hate him. So when the bunnies were out, I would just watch them. They were fine with each other. He would keep his distance, and they would kind of slowly greet each other, and Storm would scare him off. So currently, Rowan is still scared of Storm, but at least they don't fight or anything. So what I did with Willow and Rowan, I started by feeding them on the opposite sides of the door. And I did this for quite a few days actually to get them used to each other's scent. After a while, I took the boards off that door and replaced them with grids, and then I fed them through the grids. And then after quite a few more days of that, I would bring Rowan downstairs, and Willow would be sleeping in her chair, and I would just have Rowan on the ground. And I slowly got them used to seeing each other like that. And then after a few more days, they were pretty much fine, and they don't fight. They play fight, though. They play fight all the time. Sometimes it goes a little bit farther, and they get annoyed and split off. But for the most part, they play together all the time, and now they like each other. But yeah, Rowan's still getting comfortable with my parents. He comes downstairs, not as much as I would like him to, but he does go downstairs at night and random times. I'm hoping within a month or two he'll be like downstairs all the time and not waking me up every morning. But Rowan is super cute and he's pretty snuggly as well. He'll come on my desk and just lay down in my lap. He'll also bite my hands. Not really bite, but like play bite my hands and my hair. But yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. All of these clips were just too cute to not put in a video. So yeah, thank you so much for watching and I'll be seeing you in my next one. Bye!